So you think Aston
No,
Villa's
he's a
better than
solid
United?
player.
I think Aston Villa's midfield is better than ours right now. Currently, the balance,
Based
the way
on
that they
what
play
we saw
football.
on yesterday, against
Even
Tottenham
today.
and against Wolves.
Even today,
Wolves
yeah,
cut
today.
through them. Wolves cut through United's midfield.
That's true. Nunes was cooking.
And did you see the way? Did you see the way Wolves got battered yesterday in comparison to when United played them?
Yeah.
They were splitting us open time after time after time. I blame Mason Mount.
Let's talk about that. What do you think about Mason Mount?
I think Mason.
Wait, what did you think about it at first when you first heard about the interest and the purchase of him?
I didn't want him, but I trust my gaffer.
Okay.
But that trust is what is going to get me killed. That trust is what's going to probably be the end of me because I trust Erik ten Hag so much. We haven't had a proper. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe there's something appealing about his bald head. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I can't tell you, man, why I trust. And it's not just me.
Is
it's
it based
multiple.
off last season or something?
It's not just based off last season because even before that, I think as a fan base we all wanted Ten Hag.
They did.
We had it was between Poch and Ten Hag, right? And our fan base all wanted Ten Hag. So we all have like a belief in my man. And after what he did last year, after our worst ever finish in the Premier League, worst points tally ever, he come in, improved us drastically, quickly.
Yeah.
And then we won a trophy on top of that, finished third. I think that's a good season, a good start off. So obviously anything that he does from now, I'm just going to back him wholeheartedly. Why? I'm going to back him wholeheartedly. Sorry. But yeah, that's my trust in Ten Hag. And so when he said he wants Mount, I said, yeah, he probably has a plan for him. Same way Arsenal fans... Arteta said he wants Havertz. They've seen what Arteta's done with other players that are somewhat questionable.
Yeah.
They're going to just back their manager. My man said he wants Mount, who I think is not even... that guy, he's mastered the art of intangibility. He just does everything. He does the stuff that gets managers gassed, but he will also get the managers to sack. My man will do a 20-yard sprint at the end of the game. Oh, he's got his sprints in. That's the kind of stuff Mount does. So my man, Ten Hag wants him. I'm willing to trust the process.
Okay.
You're saying you're willing to trust the process, but in what world does that midfield ever work?
I think it doesn't work. And considering the profile of players Ten Hag wanted before he went for Mount, it confused me more about why he went for Mount first. He should have gone for Amrabat first, who's better on the ball, who's more physically inclined. My man, he's a destroyer as well as being good on the ball. So if I had a choice of one of the two, I probably would have gone Amrabat first and then Mount maybe to bolster the squad. But 60 M's on Mount means that he's going to have to be playing games. So I don't know what's going to happen or what's going to change, but something has to give for Mount to work in that system, which, to be honest, I actually think it did yesterday for the first half. Obviously, United discourse, everybody loves it. And I understand we ruined a lot of your childhoods, but cool. Yesterday, for the first 45 minutes, I think we played very well. We had the better of the chances. We should have scored. The second half, Tottenham completely took over, and you lot deserved the win in the end. But in my opinion, moving Mount 10 yards back to the DM-ish position where he was playing more box-to-box, that helped us a lot. So
he was kind of absent in the game, though.
He was absent, but the defensive cover that he provided in the first half meant that we could progress better. Like the amount of chances we created in that first half, we had two clear-cut chances that on another day, them man are scoring, and this is a completely different, you get me? Tottenham fans aren't coming to me gassed, telling me, oh, we won. What a trophy.
Classic.
Yeah. I just don't feel like the midfield is balanced enough. I feel like Bruno and Mount are both more advanced midfielders.
I agree.
Then you've got Casemiro there who kind of struggles on the ball a fair bit. I feel like Ten Hag needed a controller. And that is more what he spoke about. And then he went and got Mount. So I just think it's weird. And, Casemiro played his best football in Madrid. He was playing with Kroos.
Two controllers.
An elite controller. And Modric has the ability to control as well. Modric can do everything in the midfield. But yeah, I just feel like right now you've got two advanced eights well away from Casemiro and he's just struggling on the ball. Yep. And it just doesn't really make sense. And you guys aren't progressing the ball well. And you know what I'm saying? Like, midfielders are able to just run through you like butter, like just cut through you like butter.
If you were to bring Amrabat in, would he play 8 as well?
I'd want him to play next to Casemiro, provide a bit more defensive cover, number one.
As a pivot?
Yeah, as a pivot. But also, from what I've seen, he's able to progress the ball way more effectively than Mount is, from what I've seen. Just the small clips, the small videos that I've watched of Amrabat. I just don't understand why we didn't go for him first. But then that's on the manager.
I feel like you should have gone for a player more of the ilk of like Ruben Neves, Tillmans.
Or Mateus. The guy that cooked us last week, Mateus Nunes, he is a baller.
Nunes is
Mateus, I feel like that Nunes, brother, I said it in the chat, United need to start doing what Liverpool are doing. When players were moving to Liverpool just bought that player. Diaz moved to them, they bought him. Mateus Nunes moved to us. Just buy him. He clearly sorts out all of our issues. He progresses the ball.
He's more of like a dribbler though, you know that.
That's what De Jong is. Frankie de Jong is the same. It's the same. Frankie de Jong and Mateus Nunes, obviously at a lower rate. They're not the same. Yeah. But as in terms of ball progression, carrying, etc. I think they're very similar, and that would sort out a lot of our problems.
So why do you feel like Ten Hag is moving away from the smartest or correct decision?
I think he came to the Premier League and he changed drastically. So even after the first 2 games, when we got smoked, he changed his philosophy entirely and his style of play. I think from then he's realised that the Premier League is a different thing, and it's similar to what happened to Pep and Arteta. Pep came into the league, realised that he can't do certain things with certain players, complete overhaul, he changed his style of play, and now it's a bit more different. Yeah. Even for them to win the Champions League last year, it was more direct. It was more direct. Yeah, it was more direct. They were more aggressive. There was a lot of bigger, stronger individuals rather than the tiki-taka type of football that they used to play. So I feel like a lot of managers come to the Premier League and they have to adapt their play style. And I think Ten Hag is trying to find a way to do it now.
What do you see from Spurs' midfield going forward?
We're at a place now where we can afford to start having good problems. We still need another CM. Good problems.
You need another CM?
Yeah. We
so hold on, one second. You have Basuma, Sarr, Bentancur, Højbjerg. Why do you need another CM?
Because
Oliver Skip as well.
Højbjerg might go. Well, Højbjerg should be going to Atletico.
Do you want him? Do you want him to go? Because I think Højbjerg is. I think he's a good player.
I don't want him to go, but I'm okay with him going.
Okay. He's saying Kane went and now everything's calm. anyone can go. It's light.
Yeah, I think we still need a bit more, just a bit more depth and quality in the team. I still think we're one injury away from something. Like Bentancur is out at the moment, and it's great that Sarr stepped up. But if Sarr wasn't here, I wouldn't feel as confident with like Højbjerg there still. So
is Sarr an academy graduate?
Sorry? No. We got him from FC Metz. So we bought him 2 seasons ago, loaned him back to Metz, and now this season he's with us.
Okay.
But yes, he looks good. Didn't rate him.
So what type of midfielder would you want to join the club?
I'm not entirely sure. I just need another midfielder if Højbjerg goes. We just need more depth. And we need someone that doesn't mean that Skip has to be our next go-to.
So you're not rating Skip anymore?
Skip had a good pre-season.
I am rating Skip. Yeah. I don't want it to be a case of if Basuma's out, it's got to be Skip.
Skip is their McTominay. He's okay as a get me, but he's not good enough.
That's a rugby player right there, man. That's not a footballer. I'm so sorry. I'll never understand what you see in that kid.
He's got something. But yeah, I'm very happy with the performance yesterday. Very happy. Like the whole. Go on.
What do you think about the first half specifically? Because I think that was more of a balanced game. It was more end to end.
Yeah, and it was looking a bit concerning at certain points. The way you guys cut through us a bit too easily. But we grew into it. And I think that game last season under Conte, we lose it. Under Nuno, under Mourinho, we lose it. Like that game showed a lot of character from all of us. Even just like you could pick the right team. That's what I like. He's just picking the right team. Like last game he had Emerson starting. And who else did he drop? And Skip. Yeah. This game he changed it out. He put Porro in.
You don't have made a lot of options on your right back. Emerson and Porro.
I think Porro's okay.
No, he's a right wing back. He's not a right back.
You know what? And I hear that, but then yesterday against Man United, he done well defensively and attacking wise.
He did, but that's because he was up against our kid, Garnacho. If he was up against
Garnacho was
So that's another problem with Erik ten Hag currently. That I feel like there's a lot of mistakes that he's making that are very avoidable, as in picking the same team back to back that didn't work the first time. I would have started Martial.
Really?
Yeah. And I know the Martial train has flown for a lot of people. Me included. No, he's gonna win a Ballon d'Or. It's in his contract. It's in his contract.
He's obligated.
He has to win it.
Yeah, I get it.
But Erik ten Hag is making a lot of mistakes in terms of picking the same team back to back after we got cooked. We won, but we got destroyed in that first game by Wolves. Like we got sliced through. He picked the same team again, and of course, things could have been different if we'd taken our chances and scored those goals, but we didn't. So we're here now, and you've chosen the same team back to back. Garnacho should have been dropped. He's a young G. He needs to be developed, etc. Just drop him.
When he was coming on, he was
exactly coming off the bench. Coming off the bench when there's tired legs and the fullback is shook of you. My man is flying down the wings.
He's got speed.
He's so fast. There was a game the game before the Christmas break in the World Cup. I can't remember who United played. Was it Fulham? I don't know if it was Fulham, but I just know Garnacho destroyed someone's Decordova Reid. Destroyed the fullback. He needs to be coming on rather than starting games. Play Sancho. Even though that guy's, you know.
Where would you play him at? False 9?
I'd play him at false 9.
Oh,
Just
put Rashford left.
Yeah, there's a reason for that though. I think there's a problem whenever managers move players out of their best position to accommodate lesser players. That I think, in my opinion, that's backwards. It's very tapped. Who would move? Why would you move Rashford out of left wing, which is his best position? Bruno, yesterday, for example, you moved Bruno right wing when Bruno was cooking Tottenham in the 10. He moved him right wing to accommodate the intangible. He moved
the intangible.
He moved Bruno right wing to accommodate the intangible. Our team completely collapsed.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me moving players out of position that are clearly better in one, but you're moving them to accommodate others. So that's one of the problems that Ten Hag has. As opposed to
I'm just very proud of him. It's a good building block for us as well to go from there.
How do you feel about Ange?
I have a lot of hope in him. He speaks really well, and he's also delivering at the moment. And I think he's got a nice clean slate because his main objective is to play better football than we saw under Jose, Conte.
So there's no positional goals.
Sorry?
You don't have a goal for where you want to finish in the league?
We do, but we're taking it as it comes, essentially. It's not like we have to finish here with him. Like, it's a clean slate. We lost Harry Kane, which is a big loss to any team, and we have a new manager in, and we have a lot of new players who've come in. So for him, it's a clean slate. It's just about playing attractive football and getting the best out of these players. A lot of players that are playing now were treated like they couldn't play. People like Bissouma was being written off by Conte. People like Salah
confused
getting
me.
no minutes. Like, a lot of players weren't playing well. Even Kulusevski spoke the other day saying about how now he's playing less as a wing back and more like attacking. He likes it. Like, a lot of players now have a bit more freedom. Than he did under
Conte's a terrorist.
Yeah, for real.
So the big question here is that Ange Postecoglou has had 2 months at Tottenham. We've seen a clear philosophy. Ten Hag has had like a year and a bit at United, but I can't really see his style of play.
I think we had a clear philosophy last year when we got smoked twice. We turned into a transitional counter-attacking team. We resorted to type, which is the normal. Yeah, Ollie ball, which is not. And a lot of United fans probably won't want to hear that because there's points in games where we do pop it around a bit, but in essence, it is still counter-attacking football.
Transition ball.
Yeah. This year, we expected a bit more progression because he's now had a longer pre-season, etc. But as usual, the Glazers will refuse to back him, and it will end up in a circle again.
No, not this again. How did the Glazers refuse to back him?
Under the Glazers, Ten Hag spent 400 million, bro.
How did they refuse to back him?
I'm not disputing the amount that we've spent, but there's a multitude of things that the Glazers have done that have made it infinitely more difficult for my man to perform.
Go on.
Last season, we're the most reactionary club in the world, and I assume that we're probably going to buy stuff or buy new players or get new infrastructure now because we've just lost to Tottenham again. And if we lose again, if anything, I would have preferred if we got smoked by Wolves because then it would force our ownership to actually make a change again. So last year when we got smoked by Brighton and Brentford, the Glazers then overpaid for 2 players that we should have had 3 months prior to that when Ten Hag asked for them. But we also overpaid for those players. So that 400 million that you're talking about, it is still 400 million, but we've paid, let's say, 100 million over the odds for 2 or 3 of those players. Is Anthony a 70 million pound player?
Wasn't he 100 million?
He was 85 million.
He was quoted from Ajax as 40 million when Ten Hag wanted him. We took 3 months. Their season started in the Eredivisie. We ended up having to pay over the odds for him. That's part of the Glazers not backing our manager, getting my man in for pre-season so he can do what he needs to do.
He's not a 40 million pound baller, right?
No, I agree.
No,
I agree.
He's a 40 million winger.
He's not as bad as people go on.
He's a 40 million
I don't think he's as bad as people say.
He's not an 85 million winger.
I don't think he's as bad as people say, and I think his ceiling should be higher. But I think adapting to the Premier League is not easy. Like, not everyone is Bruno Fernandes. Not everyone's going to come to the league and just immediately destroy it. Like, that's not a normal thing. So
everyone could be Felix.
No, Felix.
Please.
My God,
Gosh,
that guy's clubless right now.
Yeah, I think. I think the thing is with Ten Hag, right, is I think his tactics are on job, but I feel like the guy's got bad. I do think so.
I agree.
Like, I think his tactics are on job.
What are his tactics?
In game management is excellent.
Well, what he's trying to instill at United, I think he's trying to be more counter-attacking, but instill a better build-up than they've had previously, and you can see the patterns. I feel like the problem with Ten Hag is, I feel like his talent idea is in the gutter, and I don't think you guys have a good director of football.
I agree.
Or like general structure in terms of recruitment to actually get him the profiles that he needs. So you're just kind of going off what he says, and my man's he's just picking guys from the Eredivisie that he's either worked for before or he's seen. But it needs to go past that, right? To to get the best players for the best prices. And I think that's what's happening. And I think that's why you ended up with, I think it's for like what he's trying to instill at United is calm, but I just don't feel like in a lot of areas you've got the right players. So yeah, that's for me what I think is the main problem with United right now.
So what do you see a solution to this in the future? Like, what's United's next game?
I gave up on football after yesterday. Who we got next? I think it's Forest. I'm pretty sure it's Forest.
You should be like,
pretty sure it's
at
Forest
home as well.
I think it's Forest. I'm not sure if we're home or away, but I'm pretty sure it's Forest.
Home or away, you should be able to beat them.
I think regardless, we should be able to. But
they're not a very good team, are they?
At this moment in time, I just don't. The balance in that midfield worries me. Like every time I watch us play, it concerns me. Other than the first 45 minutes yesterday, we get cut through way too easily.
See, the problem, given that they spent 65 million or whatever on Mason Mount, I don't feel like they're going to look for alternatives for that midfield. Like right now, they're not going to try to use a makeshift one, bring in McTominay or someone else. They're going to stick with that, and it's just never going to work.
I wouldn't have sold Fred. I would have sold McTominay first, yeah. I actually think Fred always does a job. No matter how dead he is, or how dead people perceive him to be, he runs around, he has energy, he tackles.
He runs around, he has energy. We're talking about a Premier League football.
He was misprofiled at United for a long time. The first two seasons,
everyone.
He was.
That's everyone though. Rashford is still playing strike. He's a left winger. He said on Sky Sports to the world, "I want to play left wing."
Came on the scene as a striker.
Yeah, but he's not a striker.
He was never a striker. Even in academy, he was playing off the left.
Was he?
Yeah, academy football, he was playing off the left. Absolutely bad. But he should not be playing that strike. It's just because he can.
But his link up though, is it good enough?
His link up is atrocious.
That's the thing. But if he's you put Rashford, you say that he can be a future world-class player.
Man's 25. Why are you talking about future, bro? He needs to be something now.
Well, they say he's on the brink of being world-class. You told me he's better than Saka. You told me he's all in these conversations. Should his link up be at the level where it is?
His link up on the left wing is when you watch him left wing compared to strike. Strike is a difficult position to play.
Yeah, it is,
extremely difficult. Back to goal, you have to link up play between other people. Like it's very, very hard to play strike.
Yeah.
And Rashford hasn't been taught how to play strike properly. And I don't know if that's him not learning or listening, or if he just can't do it. I think he just can't do it.
He's incapable.
Yeah. Okay. I think he just can't do it.
Okay, if we can agree on that, we can move forward.
In comparison to when he plays left wing, his link up with Luke Shaw and whoever used to be, when it used to be Pogba, Shaw, and Rashford on that left side, we used to destroy teams. There was a point under Mourinho where if you lock off our left side, which was either Martial, Pogba and Shaw, or Rashford, Pogba and Shaw, the game is done. Like they link up on that side when Rashford is there. I think the angles of the pitch, everything is just better for him when he's on the left.
Well, Rashford is not the same player he was back then. And even in terms of his dribbling, he's not the same player he was back then.
What do you mean his dribbling?
His dribbling's gone down, yeah.
Take on ability.
Definitely
has gone down.
I think the injury really messed him up.
The shoulder injury.
Yeah, the back injury and the back injury and the shoulder injury that he was playing through under Ole for over a year. That completely has wrecked him a lot, because even the burst, there was a period where he wasn't even sprinting. But he got it back. He got it back a little bit last year, and hopefully when we move him back out to the left wing and get him more confidence again, he'll start taking players on like he used to.
You have hope for Højlund coming in.
Yeah, so I think a lot of things have derailed United season. I think Mainu getting injured was a big one.
Considering has he played like a first team game for United?
I'm not disputing that. Same as obviously Lavia. You were just gassing Lavia. Man,
he played the whole season for
Southampton. Yeah. No. Man played.
That's not the same. It's not the same.
Let me land in. Obviously,
Right,
Mainu was obviously one of the mainstays in the team in the preseason, and it was clear that he was being pushed to start playing. Right, he'd probably be playing next to Casemiro, if not taking Casemiro's place, because that guy right now, I don't know what's happening with Casemiro, but I think he's exposed defensively, and what he's good at is destroying. So now it just makes him look meaty, because he's just getting the one thing he's good at is now become obsolete because he hasn't got the support.
Yeah,
I think Mainu getting injured and Højlund not being available to start has you'll see drastic changes with both those players back in the team. I think Højlund specifically.
They're relying on two children, bro. Two children.
Man United,
2 children.
And that's what United has been based off our whole lives. It's always been kids. It's always been kids from our youth. You lot can get onto us. It's literally always been kids.
You had the foundation. You had
we had the foundation.
Yeah.
We six academy players before we were born are the ones that won the league, or around the time we were born.
92 boys.
Them and before and even progressing through, then it's always been kids. We bought Rooney when he was 18. We bought Ronaldo when he was 17. Like, it's literally always been kids. We trust our kids, and we've always had
the kids wouldn't be who they were without the likes of Keane, without the likes of Gary Neville.
Of course, you've always had good senior players around them. You guys don't really have that anymore.
I think we have a couple.
Like who?
Bruno,
I think Casemiro. I think it's just two of them, Casemiro and Bruno.
yeah.
Casemiro.
And
No, let's not brush
And the 25-year-old kid Rashford, of course.
and 25-year-old kid. You can get onto him where you like. You get me?
So do you think Rashford's going to prove himself as world class this season? Because that's what you told me he'd become.
I think Rashford. I think we need to see him in a consistent system first. That's one.
But you told me he's going to be world class this season. So is it going to happen?
I've never said this. This
Yes,
is lies.
No, it's not lies. Because we literally had this argument in the group chat.
Yeah.
We all said that. You said that Rashford's better than Saka, yes?
Yeah. No,
We all said that Saka's going to prove himself to be world class this season.
I said Saka.
Yeah, and you said Rashford's going to do the same and more.
I think Rashford already did that last season. There was a period where Rashford was unplayable.
2 months.
If that's not
2 months.
This 2 months thing is irrelevant. If my man has proved himself as unplayable for even 3-4 games, unplayable. No wait, I don't think man are taking it unplayable.
That's a ridiculous thing.
But hold on. It also
for 3 or 4 games.
it also depends on the time that this person was unplayable. If they're doing it when it doesn't matter, then that's irrelevant. Like near the start of the season. There's points of the season where you don't need to be unplayable. You could just be decent. As you said,
Crunch time, Rashford wasn't there.
He was there. He scored in the final.
Okay, but after March, Rashford was gone. Like we didn't see Rashford again.
When he was in and out of injury.
Was he injured?
Yes, he was injured. Near the end of the season, he got injured twice. He was in and out of the team. Prior to the injuries, he was unplayable for a good 3 months. You lot saying 2 months. You can downplay it as much as you like. I don't mind. You get me? I've been backing Rashford my whole life. You get me? I'll keep doing it. Why? But yeah. Rashford is a bad boy. He'll prove himself. He'll prove himself again this year. People always doubt him.
Let's move on from United.
Let's move on from United and Spurs. Let's go on to obviously England played Spain today in the World Cup.